Hello everybody, it's Mark Ling here again, and in this video we're going to look at how to rewrite your articles. The first step in rewriting an article so that it's unique for the search engines is to find an article that closely relates to the keyword that you are targeting. And if you haven't watched the keyword research video yet, then make sure that you watch that first. Okay, I'll give you an example. If you're wanting to rank highly in the search engines for beagle biting, let's say that you've got the dog training pack and you're building your site around how to train beagles, then the Jetpack article on how to stop dogs from biting that's the ideal one to reword in order to write an article about beagle biting. Now, step 2 is that you've got to do some background research if necessary for any words that were not part of the original phrase. So sometimes you'll find that you're just taking an article on how to stop dogs from biting and you're just going to reword it to suit a phrase like stop dog biting or biting dogs, in which case you're not going to have to do any more research. You're just going to have to reword it to suit to make it unique and to suit the new phrase. But in this case we're introducing a new word, which is beagle. We're replacing the word dog with beagle, so we have to look up spend 5 or 10 minutes just looking up information on the web about beagles, because this is replacing the word dog. Now note that this only has to be done once, and then you're going to know all about beagles for the future beagle articles that you're writing. The reason why you're doing it is just in case there's something about beagles that is unique to beagles that's different from other dogs, and you may wish to include it in your articles or at least bear it in mind. That's the next step. Step 3 is to read the article once through. So just spend a minute or two, read the article, and then you go back and read each paragraph to yourself once at a time, or even each sentence if a paragraph's too much for this. And then you just jot down notes to remind you of what it's about, and then you delete that paragraph and you write it in your own words a couple minutes later. So you just take notes from each paragraph and then you come back to it and you write it in your own words. I'll just give you an example. From the dog biting article, one of the sentences was, "The big problem here is that many people assume their puppies are merely playing or teething and not really trying to hurt them." And then I reworded that article. I just deleted it and I just thought about beagles, and then I wrote it in my own words, and I wrote, "The worrying issue here is that beagle owners often assume that their puppy is just playing or teething when they actually could be trying to hurt them." Okay, so I've made it unique and I've made it about beagles. Now, step 4, after you've reworded the entire article, you optimize your article to use the target keyword phrase that you're trying to rank for. You put it in there at least 1% of the time. So in other words, if you've got a 600 word article, then you'll make sure it's in there at least 5 times anyway, and preferably 6 times. And at least once in the first 50 words of that article as well. And this is just for the search engines, so they know that that is the main thing that your article is about. You don't want to overdo it any more than that, but around about 1% is what you want to do. And that's all there is to it, to rewording the articles. It can take a little bit of time. It might take a whole afternoon to reword all 20 articles, but it's well worth it, and it's a lot cheaper than having to go ahead and pay someone to do it for you, although that's another option as well. And if you wish to do that, then you can go to a place like elance.com or getafreelancer.com or one of those outsourcing places. But anyway, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and take action and get out there and try and reword at least a couple of your articles right now. I'll see you in the next video.